Gadget World for the best technical advice.
It was back in 2016, Apple decided to launch the cheaper version of the iPhone called the iPhone SE, and it was instantly a huge hit with the Indian consumers. And this year in 2020, Apple decided to launch the next version of the iPhone SE, and today we are unboxing the 2020 version of the iPhone SE. So I have a 64GB version with me in my hand. So without further ado, let's go and unbox this device. So let's take a look at what's written on the box. So I have the usual Apple box, and recently Apple announced that they won't be shipping any chargers or earpods along with Apple devices, specifically iPhones. They are doing it to be more environment friendly and also to make sure that they are reducing the shipping cost. And surprisingly, the iPhone I ordered very recently, the one that I have, has a charger and AirPods in the box. And it's written here that it includes an iPhone SE, earpods, a lightning connector, lightning to USB cable, and a USB power adapter. So it's mentioned clearly that it includes a charger, and probably that's one of the reasons why we still have a thick box with us. And the price, what is mentioned here is rupees 42,500, but right now it's retailing for a price of approximately around 30,000 rupees. And during the offer periods like the Flipkart Big Billion Days, you will get it for approximately around 27,000 rupees. And that is a steal deal if you are trying to switch to an iPhone. If you are already an Android user and you wish to get the iOS experience, I think this is a good option for you. And for every device, Apple gives supports for around 4 to 5 years. And this is a device which was launched this year in 2020, which essentially means that you will be getting support for another 3 or 4 to or even 5 years. So let's go ahead and open this device and see what all is inside. So when I open this, so I am welcomed by a sentence which says designed in Apple in California. But we all know that it's designed in California, but still it's made in China. And inside it we have the welcome to iPhone and the iconic Apple stickers. We'll keep that aside. Then we have another SIM ejector tool with us, and then we have the device itself. So let me take it out. Okay. So I have with me the iPhone SE 2020 model, and it is as lighter as the iPhone 8 itself. So as you can see, it's almost comes in the body of an iPhone 8. For the time being, I'll keep that aside, and let's see what else is in the box. So we have a adapter, and surprisingly in 2020 it's a 5-watt adapter, and we have seen the likes of Redmi even shipping 33-watt adapters with a 15K phone, and to get a 5-watt adapter, which is a very slow adapter, it's not that great. But this phone supports 18-watt charger adapter, and you can also charge it using a wireless charger. But if you are not happy with this, you can always go ahead and get a Apple wireless charger or even a aftermarket third-party adapter as well. And then we have a wired earpods with a lightning adapter. So this device does not have a 3.5mm audio jack, so you have an AirPod which connects to a lightning adapter. You can buy a Bluetooth headset and connect it, or else if you want to connect a 3.5mm adapter, then again you will have to get another converter which converts from lightning connector to a 3.5mm audio jack. And inside it we again have a lightning to USB cable. This is what we have inside the box. So we'll keep the box aside for some time, and we'll go ahead and switch on the device and see. So before that, if you look at the physical features, what we see here is that we have a glass back which is glossy, almost like a fingerprint magnet, and on the bottom you have two speaker grills and the lightning port. And on the right side we have the volume rocker keys and the alert switch button, a physical alert button. And on the right side we have the power adapter and the SIM ejector. So let me take that SIM ejecting tool and see. So as you know, it's a single SIM phone, and iPhone doesn't come with an storage expansion option. So if I try to eject this SIM ejector tool, so it's a single SIM micro SIM adapter. So we'll keep it aside. We'll keep it inside back. So we get the same bezels that we are seeing from the iPhone 6 itself. So it's almost similar to the iPhone 6. So let me go ahead and then switch on this device and see. So it is welcoming me by showing an Apple logo, and it's getting switched on. And forgot to mention that we also have this Touch ID here, which is a fingerprint sensor, and this device does not come with a face unlock feature. We don't have a Face ID, which is a good thing, because expensive versions of iPhone like iPhone 11 or 12, you will get only a Face ID, you won't get a fingerprint scanner, and the Face ID doesn't work with mask when you're in a COVID situation. So apparently, if you're using a expensive version of an iPhone, if you have to unlock it, then it means that you need to take off the mask. But when you're using something like this, which is a cheaper version, you can unlock it very well just by touching on the Touch ID itself. Right now it is switched on, and it comes with a 4.7 inch 720p display, which is not the best display that you can get for this price, but it is pretty decent. It is bright and it has rich colors, and it's a very handy device. You can use it with a single hand, you can put it in your pocket, and it's kind of lightweight. But we also need to mention that owing to the lightweight, it comes with a very small battery. The battery is of around 1800 mAh, which is pretty low for today's standards, which essentially means that if you're charging this phone and using it around, if you're a heavy user, there is a very low possibility that it will survive most of the, maybe after 7 p.m. But if you're a moderate user, it might survive for a day, and you will have to keep on charging the device. Now we'll take a look at what are the good things you will get for the price you pay. So this phone comes loaded with a A13 Bionic chip, which is the same processor which is available in the iPhone 11 Pro. Which means that you will be getting top class performance when it comes to gaming or your day-to-day usage, or using multiple apps. So coming to the storage, this phone comes with a 3GB RAM and a 64GB storage, which is quite less when compared to today's standards. But for iOS, you don't need a heck lot of RAM like Android phones when you have 6GB or 8GB RAMs in their premium models. But 3GB is good enough for your day-to-day usage and your normal gaming. And for 64GB is a bit less, but it also comes with the Apple Cloud of 5GB. You can very well opt for the Google storage, or you can even upgrade to a Google Drive option, which will give you more storage. Cameras are one of the reasons why people always try to opt for an iPhone. And if you look at the camera of this device, this has a 12 megapixel sensor, which also has optical image stabilization, and this phone is capable of recording 4K videos at 60 frames per second, and it also has a front camera which is capable of recording only 1080p videos at 60 frames per second. The front camera that you have, it's a 7 megapixel sensor. It does not have an optical image stabilization, but it also has electronic image stabilization, which does the stabilization with the help of the gyroscope sensor which is inside this phone. The iPhone SE comes loaded with the A13 Bionic chip, which is the same processor that is available in the iPhone 11 Pro, which means that you're getting a processor which usually belongs to its elder brothers. So you're getting an expensive processor for a cheaper cost. So you'll be able to do high-end gaming like not only PUBG, all the high-end games you'll be able to play in this phone very comfortably. And A13 Bionic chip also enables high-end image processing as well. So even if you have a 12 megapixel sensor, the software processing that you get is top notch, which means that it is comparable to the Pixels or the higher-end iPhone 11 Pros. But only difference is that you won't be getting an ultra-wide lens, because it only comes with a single lens setup. And if you look at the display, it comes with a 720p Retina display of 326 pixels per inch. Which is not that great up to today's standards, but if you're buying even a 10,000 rupee Redmi phone, you'll still get a full HD screen. But it's again not comparable to the Chinese panels that you get in the cheaper Android phones. But this is a top-notch panel, and the brightness is also pretty decent for the price you pay. The 4.7-inch display can be good for some people, but I personally like the small display, but I feel a bit annoyed with the bigger bezels that you have. And one of the other advantages that you get with this phone is that this phone is IP68 water resistant certified, which means that even if you drop this phone into water, it is capable of staying underwater for almost 1 minute for up to 1 meter. Not 1 minute, up to 30 minutes for up to 1 meter. And I think I made a small mistake when I mentioned that it holds a micro SIM slot, but it actually comes with a nano SIM slot. So you will be able to put only one nano SIM, and you also have an option to download an eSIM, which technically means that you will be able to run two numbers in this phone, but you will be only able to use one physical SIM. So if you are trying to get a phone in sub 30,000 budget, this is one of the best options you have in the market. And if you're looking at the other rivals, you have the Pixel 4a, which is costing somewhere around 29,990, and you also have the OnePlus Note, which can be a good option for some people, which is ranging from 25,000 to 30,000 rupees. But still, if you want the actual iOS experience or an Apple device, this is the right device to go for.
Gadget World for the best technical advice.